Welcome to our deep dive. We'll be exploring music history, focusing on all the events that happened on one specific date.
A single date.
Yep, January 22nd to be exact.
Interesting.
We've got some fascinating anniversaries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and even some unexpected events from across the decades. So are you ready to time travel with us?
I am. I always love a good musical journey.
All right, let's rewind all the way back to 1859. Johannes Brahms premiered his first piano concerto in Germany.
Ah, Brahms.
Yeah.
A true master of the Romantic era.
Exactly. And I know concerto might sound a bit stuffy, but trust me, this piece is anything but.
I agree. It's full of drama, passion. Almost like a passionate argument between the piano and the orchestra.
Yeah, you can really feel the intensity.
Oh, absolutely. And that premiere really cemented Brahms as a major composer of his time.
And get this, on that same date, 30 years later, in 1889, something pretty amazing happened.
What's that?
The Columbia Phonograph Company was founded.
Wow, that's a big one. Think about it, the dawn of recorded music.
Right, like stepping from a concert hall straight into a recording studio.
It's hard to imagine a world without recorded music, isn't it? But back then, this was a game changer.
Totally. It meant that suddenly anyone could listen to music.
Right, no matter where they were.
Yeah, or their social status.
It really democratized music.
Okay, let's jump ahead a few decades to 1959. This is where we encounter Buddy Holly.
Oh, Buddy Holly, a true legend.
Yeah, he was making his last recordings.
His last recording?
Yeah, in his New York City apartment.
Wow.
Just him, a guitar, and a tape recorder laying down tracks like Peggy Sue Got Married.
It's incredible how those simple recordings became so iconic.
I know, right? Sadly, they were released after his death in a plane crash just a few weeks later.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It is. It adds such a poignant layer to his music.
You can definitely hear it in his voice.
Even in that simple recording, his music just bursts with life.
Absolutely. His energy, his talent, it's all there.
It really makes you wonder what else he could have achieved.
His career may have been cut short, but his impact on rock and roll is immeasurable.
Couldn't agree more. All right, to keep things moving, let's zip through some notable anniversaries on this date. In 1963, the Drifters recorded On Broadway.
On Broadway, such a classic.
I know. It perfectly captures the energy and ambition of New York City.
I think it's a song that resonates with anyone who's ever dared to dream big.
For sure. And it's been covered by so many artists over the years.
Everyone wants their shot at that Broadway feeling.
Now, 1967 gives us a glimpse into the evolving world of television. The Supremes managed to appear on two major TV shows.
2 shows on the same night.
Yep, the Ed Sullivan Show and the Andy Williams Show, all thanks to videotape.
Wow, the magic of technology.
Right. It's hard to imagine a time when everything had to be live.
That must have been quite a challenge for performers.
But it also makes you appreciate the spontaneity of live performances.
True, but January 22nd, 1967 was a busy day. The Monkees were also performing a concert that night.
Wow, so much happening.
It seems like everyone was making their mark on this particular date.
And speaking of making a mark in 1969, Glenn Campbell's Wichita Lineman achieved gold record status.
Wichita Lineman, such a unique sound.
It really is. It blends country.
Pop.
Yeah, and even orchestral elements.
Gather seamlessly.
Glenn Campbell was a master at crossing genres.
Absolutely. And Wichita Lineman is a testament to that.
Yeah.
It connected with people from all different musical backgrounds.
But our journey through musical history isn't over yet.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. Stay with us as we delve into the 1970s, where we'll encounter John Lennon's activism.
Oh, wow.
David Bowie's groundbreaking honesty, and so much more. All on this very same date, January 22nd.
I can't wait. The 70s, such a dynamic decade for music.
Yeah, a time of change and experimentation. And on January 22nd, 1971, we find John Lennon and Yoko Ono recording Power to the People.
A powerful anthem for a turbulent time.
It really was. They weren't just making music, they were using their voices for social change.
Exactly. It was a call to action reflecting the anti-war sentiment and the fight for justice happening around the world.
And it's a reminder that music can be a powerful tool for activism.
Absolutely. It can inspire, it can unite, you can give a voice to the voiceless.
And just a year later, in 1972, David Bowie made a bold statement.
Oh yeah, I remember this. He openly declared his bisexuality in an interview.
It was groundbreaking, especially in the world of rock music, which was often seen as very masculine.
Bowie was a true innovator, challenging norms and paving the way for greater acceptance.
Speaking of challenging norms, 1972 also saw the Osmonds climbing the charts with Down by the Lazy River.
The Osmonds, such a wholesome, family-friendly image.
Their music was pure pop fun, a nice contrast to the more rebellious sounds at the time.
It just goes to show you the diversity of music in the 70s. There was something for everyone.
And while the Osmonds were enjoying their chart success, David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust tour was making a stop in England.
Oh, wow. Imagine seeing that show. Bowie was a master of stage presence.
His costumes, his music, his energy, it must have been electrifying.
And in 1974, Carly Simon released her album Hotcakes, which featured a beautiful duet with James Taylor on Mockingbird.
Mockingbird, such a sweet and tender song.
Their voices blended so well together. It's always fascinating to hear how personal relationships influence music.
Definitely adds another layer to the listening experience.
Now let's jump ahead to 1977. Hall & Oates were climbing the charts with Rich Girl.
That song is so catchy, it's impossible not to tap your feet to it.
They had a knack for creating those infectious pop melodies.
And while Rich Girl was making its way up the charts, Stevie Wonder was holding the #1 spot with I Wish.
Stevie Wonder, a true musical genius.
His music is timeless, and I Wish is a perfect example of that.
It captures the joy and innocence of childhood memories.
It's a song that takes you back to a simpler time.
Speaking of musical icons, 1979 saw Neil Diamond gracing the cover of People magazine.
He was a true showman with a voice that can melt your heart.
His music had a way of connecting with people of all ages.
And on a more somber note, in 1981, a nude photo of John Lennon appeared in his obituary issue of Rolling Stone magazine.
That was a controversial decision.
It certainly was. It sparked a debate about privacy and the boundaries of journalism.
It's a reminder that even in death, public figures are not immune to scrutiny.
Moving on to 1983, Michael Jackson's Billie Jean entered the U.S. Top 40 chart.
Billie Jean, the song that launched 1,000 dance moves.
And the music video was groundbreaking. It changed the way we experience music.
Michael Jackson was a true visionary.
Absolutely. And speaking of iconic moments, let's not forget Barry Manilow performing the national anthem at the Super Bowl in 1984.
That was an unexpected choice, but he delivered a powerful performance.
He brought his signature style to the national anthem.
And in a bit of rock and roll family news, Gene Simmons from Kiss welcomed a son into the world on January 22nd, 1989.
Even rock stars have families.
It's a reminder that behind the personas are real people with real lives.
But not all news was good news in 1990. Paula Abdul was robbed while picking up her American Music Awards. Oh no, that's terrible.
It's a reminder that fame and fortune don't make you immune to life's misfortunes.
Thankfully, no one was hurt.
On a brighter note, 1992 saw Stevie Ray Vaughan's debut album, Texas Flood, certified platinum 9 years after its release.
His legacy as a blues guitar legend continued to grow even after his tragic death.
His music is timeless and still inspires musicians today.
And in that same year, Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit went gold.
That song was a game changer for rock music.
It ushered in the era of grunge and brought alternative music to the mainstream.
And while Nirvana was rocking the airwaves, Harry Connick Jr.'s album 25 also went gold, showcasing his smooth vocals and jazz stylings.
Connick is a true musical chameleon, blending genres effortlessly.
Now, in 1994, music became a powerful force for activism. Crosby, Stills and Nash and Bonnie Raitt performed at a pro-choice rally.
They used their platform to speak out for what they believed in.
It was a powerful reminder that music can be a catalyst for change.
And speaking of powerful collaborations that same year, Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, and Sting released All for Love. That song went straight to #1 and stayed there for weeks.
3 huge voices coming together for an epic ballad.
It was a musical moment for the ages.
And in 1996, Whitney Houston signed a major deal with Disney.
Her star power was undeniable.
She was at the top of her game.
Sadly, in 1997, we lost Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis Presley's longtime manager.
He was a controversial figure, but his impact on Elvis's career was undeniable.
And in 1999, we also lost Hal B. Cook, a former label executive and publisher of Billboard magazine.
He was a true industry giant, shaping the way we consume and experience music.
And to round out the 90s, 3 very different albums went gold in 1999. Seal's Human Being, R.E.M.'s Up, and Bette Midler's Bathhouse Betty.
A testament to the diversity of musical tastes.
Absolutely. Fast forward to 2002, and Nine Inch Nails, known for their intense industrial sound, did something unexpected.
What's that?
They held their first in-store signing.
Wow, a sign of the changing times.
Definitely with the rise of the internet, artists were finding new ways to connect with their fans.
And to wrap up our journey through January 22nd, we arrive in 2006. Lisa Marie Presley married musician Michael Lockwood.
A union that brought together two musical legacies.
It seems like every January 22nd is filled with musical surprises.
From classical to pop rock to blues, this date has seen it all.
What a ride.
Well, we've explored a lot on this deep dive through music history, all focused on January 22nd.
From the earliest days of recorded music all the way to the 2000s.
We saw the birth of the phonograph.
Heard some iconic recording.
Yeah, like Buddy Holly's Last Sessions.
And witnessed the evolution of music.
From classical concertos to chart-topping pop hits.
It's amazing how much music history is packed into a single date.
It really is. So what moments stood out most to you?
You know what really struck me? How all these seemingly unrelated events, when you look at them together on this one date, paint this bigger picture.
Yeah, like a tapestry of musical moments.
Exactly. We see how technology changed music, like with the phonograph.
Right, suddenly anyone could listen to music.
And how artists use their voices for social change.
Like John Lennon and Yoko Ono with Power to the People.
And David Bowie challenging norms.
It's a reminder that music is more than just entertainment.
It's a reflection of our culture, our values, our struggles.
And our hopes for the future.
For me, it's the incredible diversity of music we encountered.
Yeah, from the grandeur of Brahms,
The raw energy of Buddy Holly.
the smooth sounds of Hall & Oates.
The soulful voice of Stevie Wonder.
It shows how music can connect us across generations and cultures.
Music is a universal language.
What I hope you take away from this deep dive is a sense of curiosity.
A desire to keep exploring music history.
Yeah, there's always more to discover.
Every song has a story.
And every artist a journey.
Who knows? Maybe you'll even be inspired to make some music history of your own.
Now that's an exciting thought. Imagine each day of the year offering a similar deep dive.
A whole calendar of musical discoveries.
What date would you choose? What stories would you uncover? We'll leave you with that question as we wrap up our exploration of January 22nd in music history.
Until next time, keep the music playing.